Welcome, everyone. I'm Joy Randalls. I'm the president of IWF Florida Suncoast. And tonight we're going to have a wonderful interview. I'd like to introduce the person who will be doing the interview today. One of our members, Nancy Vaughn. Nancy is a passionate entrepreneur. She's the founder and the principal of White Book Agency. It's an award-winning full-service public relations and marketing firm. They also do special events serving the fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and tech brands. Nancy has over 2 decades of experience in the communications field, and she leads campaigns that improve the visibility of businesses and entrepreneurs across the country. She secured media placements in Forbes, Fast Company, InStyle, the New York Times, ETV, and a long list of others. She's also the founder and executive producer of Tampa Bay Fashion Week, and she's been instrumental in elevating our region's fashion community. Her leadership has brought visibility to local leaders since 2019 in the Tampa airport, or the international airport, which is one of the busiest in the world. They purchase designer capsule collections that have sold exclusively at the shops on Bayshore, which gives us an opportunity to highlight the fashion talent and accessories in our region. Nancy's agency has been recognized as one of the best PR firms in the country. She's also been featured as a rising star in the Tampa Bay Times, and she's called upon all the time for her expertise, business knowledge, and industry connections. I think if you asked me, having known Nancy for a long time, one of the things that make her work and her agency's work stand out is her critical thinking. She challenges her clients to think differently and collaborate for better solutions at the end of the day. So welcome, Nancy. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Nice to see everyone. And thank you, Holly, for being here today. I can't wait to talk to you about Dune. And what we're going to do is Holly and I are going to just chat a bit about her company, her entrepreneurship journey, and just like some basic lifestyle questions, like how she's, living as a woman entrepreneur and navigating work life. And then we'll open it up for questions. And if you have any along the way, just feel free to either raise your hand or drop it into the chat. And then we'll make sure that it gets answered. But uh, Holly, I want you to give us kind of a Cliff Notes version of about your bio and background. Um, you know, uh, Tell us about Dune a little bit and your personal professional journey.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I I have a long, colorful journey so far. So
Yeah.
I I was raised on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, a little beach area here on the East Coast, and I ended up we're just going to fast track through this part, but I ended up leaving home at 15 years old. I dropped out of high school. I left home. It was a tumultuous environment that was not conducive to success and to happiness. So I moved out and ended up doing so many different jobs, a lot of hospitality jobs, working in a pharmacy, bartending, waitressing, a lot of sales, cell phone sales, car sales. And I did end up settling into a wonderful real estate career in my 20s that I loved. I actually loved real estate in Boston. I worked for a developer, and it was a great opportunity to learn business and to have the kind of the control over my own income. So that kind
Yeah.
of started to give me the inkling of like, maybe I want to own my own business someday. On the side, I was creating jewelry as an artistic outlet out of sand from Cape Cod. And the beach happens to be one of my happy places, or it is my happy place, and also brings so much kind of joy and peace and calm. So I started making these pieces, and then I was working in real estate at the time, taking them out to local arts and crafts shows, just kind of testing the waters, seeing if people liked them. And the moment they realized it wasn't, Cape Cod sand is very kind of golden quartzy. So they didn't quite know what they were looking at.
Mhm.
And they would think it was amber. And then I would tell them, well, this is Skakit Beach, this is Nauset Beach, this is Mayflower Beach. And like this light would go off, and these questions immediately started flowing from the arts and crafts shows. Well, do you have my beach? And I'm like,
Mhm.
like people take ownership of their happy place, right? Like that was kind of an aha moment for me. And then it progressed from there. I ended up getting great feedback. I launched the business. I started making the jewelry in 2007, launched Dune as a business while still working in real estate in 2010.
Mhm.
And fast forward 15 years, we're a multi-million dollar business. We ship to about 500 retail partners all over the world. Our business is comprised of 75% wholesale, 25% direct to consumer e-commerce.
Mhm.
And I have 30 full-time team members that are the best in the business, amazing team. And a lot happened in between, but that's kind of just the cliff notes.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. What was the first piece of jewelry that you made? Like was it the Cape Cod? Was that the
It was with Cape Cod sand. It was this little tiny circle of silver with
Mhm.
another dot of silver inside. Very clean and geometric because I thought I loved the contrast between the organic nature of the sand and this kind of very clean lines and geometric shapes. Customers didn't like that though. They loved
Okay.
they loved the concept, but they're like, "Where are the starfish? Where are the sand dollars?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Ooh," and that was the first time I was like, "All right, do I want to be an artist or do I want to be a business owner?"
Right. Right.
And due to many different things and my experience in real estate and still being in real estate and growing up with a single mother and kind of craving that financial freedom, like I
Mhm.
want to be a business owner. I am an artist, but I want to be a business owner.
Right.
That was
Right.
the first big decision to be like, all right, I can get with a sand dollar. We'll make this
Yeah. Right.
happen.
Well, and that's really great though, as an artist and a creative that you were taking the feedback from your customers though, right? Because at first you were
Every
designing
day.
for yourself and then it was like, oh, you're not you want something a little different and then you have to make that decision as a creative. So, what's the most like unexpected element that you turned into jewelry or a piece of jewelry that's been requested?
So we've graduated from the original beach sand jewelry company to kind of the original and only experiential jewelry company,
Mm.
which means that we capture experiences in every single design that leaves the studio. So people have sent us uh, over 5,000 sands from all over the world that are cataloged in our little Dewey Decimal System, our sand bank. We have sand from Dubai, Positano, Italy, 250 unique beaches just on Cape Cod and
Wow.
Bermuda, Caribbean. I mean, everything in between. And once that started going, people would say, I have a really weird question to ask you. And I'm like, it's okay, ask it. Yes, we do
Mm.
ashes. So we do ashes. We do utilize ashes in our designs. People are welcome to send them in. We probably receive them a few times a week. We don't necessarily advertise that, but I'm so blessed to be able to capture people's experiences and memories like that.
Right.
So ashes are not as unique. I would say the most unique might be chihuahua teeth, like little
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
baby chihuahua teeth. Our fur babies are our babies too, and this woman had saved all her little chihuahuas baby teeth.
Wow.
Her pet had passed, and she wanted to commemorate that, and I'm more than happy to do that.
Amazing. Um, have you received any orders from customers that have like sparked specific memories or emotions for you that
Yeah.
yeah?
So many, but one in particular is, I'm kind of obsessed with, Richard Branson. I think he's just this larger than life, cool entrepreneurial guy. I
Mm,
mean, I don't know him. I've read the book and I follow
yeah.
him a little bit, but his people contacted me because he owns, Necker Island,
Mhm.
and I think Mosquito Island too, but his wife's name is or his daughter's name, Holly. Oh, sorry guys. I just had like a
Yeah.
brain
That's all right.
his daughter is Holly, and there's a beach on Mosquito Island. They call it Holly's Beach. They wanted to send me sand from Holly's Beach to have some gifts made for the family. And that
Mm,
was just like
that's a big deal. Right.
big deal. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, I don't know if that answers your question exactly, but that's something that
You were
just
excited. That was the
I
emotion
was
for
so
sure.
excited. Yeah,
Right.
that was the emotion.
Right. When you like travel to these different places, like your happy places, wherever they may be, do you have any jewelry ideas or creations in mind when you go
Oh,
there, or how are
yeah.
you inspired?
Yeah. I'm really inspired by our customers at this point because we have such a strong community and they
Mm.
are not shy. So they'll
Okay.
send me inspiration all the time. They things that they want to see or that will help them capture their memories. But I think majority of my inspiration now comes from nature, things that I learn about in nature, usually coastal because that's my favorite place to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, most of it comes from Mother Earth, and the fact that Mother Earth gives us these colors and textures to play with. I mean, you've got pink sand in Bermuda and white sand in many places. Any of you in Florida, I mean, there's always this running conversation. Is it not Sanibel? Is it Siesti or Destin? Which one's the whitest sand? It's Destin. Just to put that to
Okay.
rest. Yeah.
Good to
Destin is
know.
like white, white, white sand. And then you have black sand in Iceland, and it's just this range of colors and textures that's a pleasure to work with and so much fun.
Amazing. And Siesta Key is beautiful. I didn't know that between you said Destin and Siesta Key.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a conversation that pops up or used to pop up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, well, I know that there's probably some people who are on that are interested in entrepreneurship, or they're running their own businesses, or they're in leadership positions. Tell us, like, what is your day-to-day life like at Dune? Like, what's an average day like for you, if there is an average day
I mean,
or a
we're
week?
still a small business,
Mm,
right? So everybody wears so many hats. So for me, um, I hired a formal CEO about a year and a half ago. I had been doing it for 14 years,
mm,
and I thought maybe it would be time to bring someone in and see what would happen. So my role has changed a little bit, but
okay.
not as much as I had expected because I think I'm still learning to let go of all that, I'm still looking at numbers every single day.
Right.
Because I'm self-taught, I am very diligent in just keeping an eye on everything all the time. I also, even though I have a great team, I'm constantly kind of checking people's work and stuff. So it's not necessarily that's not my advice to anyone. That's just my habit. Um, but
What's
now
your title now? Do you have a title now, or are you founder?
founder,
Right.
designer.
Okay.
So I do a lot of design work, and it's not only designing, it's taking it through the entire product development process, which is the back and forth with the factories and the casters. And because we cast our designs all over the world, but we do all of the actual hand crafting in our
Mhm.
studio in New England. So a lot of design work, a lot of product development, and just a lot of front facing. The goal was to get me kind of out front facing with Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and doing more social media to enrich our community, to grow our community, and it's working. We have such a great community of women and majority women, some men. Um, but it's an interesting transition to go from kind of somewhat behind the scenes to like trying to record content almost every day. It's tiring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's impressive too that you are, willing to explore, like, bringing on a CEO and just transitioning into a new role. Pivoting can be really hard, I know, just when you're the founder, right? So, what would you say your leadership style is like?
Super collaborative. I don't know what I don't know. So I have a few team members who have been with me for like 11, 12 years. So we've
Mhm.
come up together, um, which is a really interesting an interesting way to grow a business. And that's probably why we've grown organically and slowly. We're bootstrap. It's just me. I own the business 100%,
Mhm.
and paid for it with the real estate commissions in the beginning to get it going. So I think I'm super collaborative. I've finally learned to kind of put my foot down where I need to. If I'm certain, like 110% certain about a decision, I will enter a conversation and say, "Hey guys, this isn't for a conversation. I'm letting you know right now we have to do this, this, and this. And please
Yeah.
take that and roll with it." But that's 10% of the time. Usually it's a big conversation. I want to know everyone's opinion. Sometimes I bring it to social media and I'll be like, "Hey guys, what do you think about this decision?" I just think I think that it's short-sighted to think that you know everything, or you can solve every problem, because you can't. So, uh,
Yeah.
also, I would say one of my I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness actually, but one of my strengths is assessing our team members' kind of sphere of genius and
Mm.
trying them in different positions, because I do think that if you have a good person and their heart is in it and their work ethic is good and they have integrity, if you can try to figure out a spot for them within the company, maybe one spot's not working, let's try them here. My operations director has been like a lot of different spots, but he's also been with me since my real estate career. He became my assistant when he was like 22. He had just moved to New England from Colorado. And then I was like, "Oh, he's kind of techie. He can help me with the website. Oh, he can help me with this." And so he's been with me since day one.
Yeah. Well, and that it's not even a soft skill that you're talking about when you talk about the person who has that work ethic. Some colleagues of mine call it like that fire in your belly, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
actually coach or teach that. So there's a lot of value in holding on to those people who are, great people. They just need to be in the right role. Um,
Yeah.
what would you say is your biggest lesson to date around starting a business?
I mean, there's just
I
so
know.
many. We talked the other day and I thought a little bit deeper into that. And I think the biggest surprise for me is that other people do not conduct business the way you conduct business.
Mhm.
So I have my bookkeeper's been with me since, I mean, for 12 years, I believe, and 12 years. And we're very kind of black and white, by the book. We pay our bills on time. And there's just a lot of people who don't do you're waiting months, 60, 90 days to get invoices paid by other companies because they're managing cash flow. And I'm like, yeah, guys, you still have to
Right.
pay bills. Like, I that
Yeah,
was shocking to me. I just figured, like, if you're in business, you conduct it with integrity and with,
right.
with passion and drive and um
And communicate at the minimum, right? I think I told you
sure.
that was my biggest learning lesson. I was like, I didn't realize people just didn't pay their bills on time. Like how what when did that become optional? But
Yeah,
yes, yes, totally.
it is for some
Um,
people.
yes. What would you say surprises you or surprised you the most? Oh, I guess aside from the bills not being paid on time, but or still surprises you about like the journey that you're on as an entrepreneur.
I think I think there's so many people who think it's going to be you launch and it becomes easy street and you're your own boss and you've got this free time. And
Right.
even 15 years in, there's no day that I'm coasting. Like, there just isn't. And I think maybe next year or maybe next year, but it's too, the world we live in is too volatile. If you're not ready to give 150% to your business, don't bother. It's not worth it, because it's going to stress you out so much. You have to love what you do, and you have to know that it's 24/7, because nobody, no matter how good they are, they're not going to care about your business the way you do. And they obviously aren't going to think about decisions the way you do. You can train people and work with them for 15 years, but there's still going to be pockets of differences. So
Right.
I don't think I answered your question. I think I just
No,
went
no. Yeah.
it's a
No,
roller coaster that never stops, and you think
it's
it's
true.
going to, and you can get off the ride and kinda, like, go take a vacation, and it just doesn't.
Right. I've heard people say, "Oh, I wanted to like, maybe have more freedom, or I didn't want to have to answer to anyone. Like that's one, and I'm like, oh no, when you
No,
oh,
you're answering to everybody.
everyone, right? Yes. And also if things go well, it's the team, and if things don't go well, you get to deal with it a lot of times on your own, depending
Yeah.
on on where you are on the journey. So, what would you say is the best piece of leadership advice or management advice that you've received, or
Oh my
pieces if
God.
you got more than?
That I've received. I mean, there's just kind of the old the it's this is probably cliche, but really do your best to surround yourself with people who are better than you and don't have an ego and don't feel like you have to be if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in trouble. Like you need to have people around you that can kind of drive you to grow. Um,
Well, one thing that you said that was interesting when we were talking earlier is that you were really candid about, oh, I dropped out, of high school and stuff, but you were smart in acquiring information from every job, as unrelated as it may seem, right? So I think that was that I like that piece of information that you shared about just, you know, watching the leadership styles of,
it's
the
wild. Yeah.
yeah, yes, and what you want to do and maybe what you don't want to do, right? So how you want to
I've
lead.
worked for some crazy and especially in the hospitality business, it's such a high pressure industry. Like I have worked for some very tough um, leaders, bosses, managers. Um, I learned a lot in the real estate industry, though. I worked with some very just incredibly professional, mostly men, uh, in the development industry in Boston. And I did learn a lot there because I was privy to all of the development meetings, not only just the sales meetings and things like
Mhm.
that. So I just sit back, listen, and try to absorb,
Yeah.
the best practices.
Is there any like advice that you have for people who would be interested in starting their own business, or um
Yeah, I think it's important to, as I said, love what you do. Just go in knowing it's going to be more than a full-time job. Also get a mentor. I went to the Small Business Administration has a program called SCORE here in Boston. I think it's everywhere.
nationwide, I think
I
so.
think, yeah, and I went in with this expectation of somehow finding this perfect jewelry business mentor, and I ended up coming out with Rick Blank, who is I still speak to once a month, and his business was credit card, like physical credit card, gift card manufacturing.
Interesting.
And somehow and I had talked to a few different mentors, but he was the one that just, like, sat me down, taught me about, what a profit and loss was, how to deal with cost of goods, how to we still have conversations about that because things are changing all the time with tariffs and metal prices. Metal prices just hit an all-time high in history, both sterling silver and gold. So it's a volatile business to be in, but point is that you can learn something from everyone and even if you
Yeah.
think you know better or if you think it's not relative to your business, if they are a successful business owner, which he was incredibly successful in his career, there's so much to learn.
Mhm. How, would you say this is kind of switching gears a little bit from just the leadership entrepreneurship, but as a mother, you are, learning and growing there too, right? Like, how would you say the two inform one another? Like, what have you learned from business that is applied to motherhood, and what have you learned from being a parent that may apply to like your business journey? Patience. Man,
Really good
right.
question. I know, I'm like, I don't know. It feels so different to me in my situation now. So my business is 15 years old, and my daughters are 12 and 13. So
Mm,
this has been a very collaborative journey with the family. For me, I know like it's really important to make sure you're not going to hit all the work things and all of the family things spot on. You just, if you do, congratulations. Like that is
yeah.
amazing. and you can really do your best and you can come close. But if you pinpoint the items that are really important to your family, like my girls are in gymnastics. I have made it to every single meet except for one in the past 6 years, right? So
Um,
I'm hyper focused on that. And I know that if I have dinner on the table, if I'm not traveling for work and I have dinner on the table, whether it's good or bad, they feel cared for. Those are two kind of pinpoint items. I'm like, if we have dinner together and I make it to the meets, they feel supported. Otherwise, um, I can't do it. I can't be at every school event.
right.
I can't do everything, but I think it's important to hone on and identify and hone in on a few things that's important to your family, to help in that respect.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I have brought the girls into the business to some extent, using them as models when they were younger. They're going through a stage where they're like, no thanks, but we'll get to the other side of that. But being able to bring them into the business a little bit and teach them, that's important so they don't feel completely separated from what you do.
Yeah.
Um,
And so your business is older than your daughter, so they have grown up with the business as well. Yeah, that's amazing.
I was very blessed. My mother-in-law ran a daycare. So I was really, really blessed that we had that help in the beginning. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have a business now because I wouldn't have wanted to leave them with someone I didn't know.
Right, right. Um, would you say that your business has made you better as a mother, or there's always the thing about what work life integration, work-life balance, whether you believe in such a thing or not, right? So how are you
Yeah,
making it all work?
I think we all tell ourselves individual stories. I tell myself that I am showing my girls a strong role model, a good work ethic, what it means to work for your family and support your family. And so I tell myself there's so many ways I can look at it. If
Yeah,
I'm going to be totally honest and transparent, um, I sit down, I have conversations with the girls. I'm like, hey, would you rather have me home and maybe we sell the business, or that's not part of our life anymore? And it's like, it's never, they're like, absolutely not. Love that they love what I do. They love to come in and see it. They love to see it on social media. I think they love when their friends are like, "Oh my gosh, my mom has a piece of your mom's jewelry." Those types of things.
right.
Yeah, I think that there's so many different ways to look at it, and if you can keep the conversation really open and healthy, I think it can be a great thing for kids. You have to put your phone down once in a while and come home and maybe take the 5 minutes in the car before you walk through the door, so you can come in with a little bit of energy and a reset from the day. Because for years I was just coming in, on the phone, still taking calls because I wanted to get home to make dinner, but you
Yeah.
have to separate a little bit.
And I mean, I want to fully acknowledge that, the question that I ask, sometimes men are never asked, right? How they balance anything. But the reality of the situation is the bulk of caregiving has fallen on women, whether it's taking care of their kids or taking care of their, parents who are getting older. So it's great when, we're able to make it all work for sure. One thing I wanted that I noticed and we talked about briefly, but I want you to share is you did this really cool collaboration or like inspired collection for Jane Goodall. Like, tell us how you pick, the people who are inspiring you.
Yeah, we started doing at the beginning of this year, we started these icon collections that come out usually once a month, once every couple of months. And the last one was my absolute, my favorite, Jane Goodall. It had sand from Tanzania, it had tanzanite, it had her birthstone, which is diamonds, and malachite for kind of the green forest. It really, I should have worn that. It's just beautiful. And so we've had Frida Kahlo, we've had Jane Goodall, we did kind of a Audrey Hepburn Breakfast at Tiffany's design that was really pretty. Amelia Earhart, that one was very cool. And so because we realized we can use all these different elements in our jewelry designs to honor these women. And oftentimes we'll donate a portion of proceeds to a charitable organization that they're part of or that they support.
Mhm.
And that's been really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, everyone on who is on, definitely go and check out the website so you can see some of these collections. What do you say is next for you personally and professionally for Dune?
So I just launched or recently launched Dune Travels, which is cruises, stays, and unforgettable days. And that is a collaboration with Christine Castello, who's a huge travel influencer. She's so much fun, so authentic, so down to earth. Sometimes you're like, wait, what did she just say? Oh my gosh, did anyone hear that? And she's got like 10 million people that heard that. But she's so much fun. And we started doing group cruises last year. They've been selling out. So we max out around 110 people, and they sign up and we do all these like games and tea time and dinners together. And then they get Dune swag bags and Dune
Oh, cool.
prizes and gifts. And so it's this like fun, it's really great for women who love travel and love jewelry and love to have this social club. And so, I mean,
And
these
are
women
they all like Dune shoppers? Is that how kind of it's curated from the community or?
it mostly, I mean, it really started with Christine because her community is so just loyal and excited about her. Then she introduced Dune because we had a collaboration together. And then it was like, we were like, let's see how this goes. And we did an Alaska cruise, was our first one. That's kind of her specialty. And we just blew it out of the water. People wanted to sponsor it. We had swag bags, we do all these game days at sea. And then the women on that first cruise became friends, and men, there are husbands that come as well. And then the second cruise, people signed up again for another, same people for another cruise. I'm like,
Interesting.
whoa, this is like wild.
Mm.
And then now we just had our last 2025 cruise. We have four coming in 2026: Greece, Norway, Alaska, and the Caribbean. No, Alaska and New England, Canada. And we had 65% of the people on the last Alaska cruise sign up for something in 2026.
How fun.
So I was
That's
like,
so
it was just so amazing to see that many people sign up. And now we've got all this Facebook group and everyone's chit chatting over there. And so the goal for that is not that we're doing group cruises all the time, but we're going to kind of, it will progress where we're going to use the earnings from the cruises to purchase our first Airbnb. And then so it'll be cruises and stays, but it'll be this great community that can share all of the information about where they're staying, what they did, rating things super honestly because they know, everyone really knows each other.
right.
And we'll see where it goes. We don't have like a master plan, but that's like we're baby stepping.
That's really cool though. You took the influencer marketing element, right? And then just kind of let it evolve naturally, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's always fun when and you can do that with number one, I can think if you're open to being innovative and doing things a little bit differently, but it's also really beneficial for a small business to be able to make that decision and be like, oh yeah, like now let's bring everybody together for a cruise or yeah, so that's
It's
awesome.
interesting how deep your relationships can run when there's something to be said about grassroots kind of bootstrap marketing. And that's how we started. It was me just hauling tables around to arts and crafts shows. And I still have people from that part of the business that follow on social media. But also, one important thing to realize is there are content creators and there are influencers. And you can be
Mhm.
the most brilliant content creator in the world and make such beautiful content, but you have no influence on anyone or anything.
Right.
Then you can have an influencer who is just storytelling, just a really great storyteller, and all of a sudden they've got 10 million people watching, and it's really powerful. The relationship with her has been transformative for our business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you expect to perhaps work with other influencers to,
Yeah.
yeah, expand that?
Yeah. We have Camille Kostek, who is a wonderful collaborator. Captain Kate McHugh is one of our collaborators. We've done a collection with her, and we're in talks for another round of designs. And then we are speaking. I guess I actually can't probably say her name yet, but like a massive, massive TikTok influencer who now is on Instagram and Facebook as well. But very just again, experiential, wholesome storytelling, like just a really cool person, really beautiful person.
How has it been to, like, the evolution of your marketing over the years? Like, how has that journey been for you?
Ridiculous. It's like, I mean, it's just it changes all the time. I mean, it's very difficult to not difficult, it's a challenge to stay on top of different trends, especially with social media. When I first started in 2010, Facebook was completely organic. It was amazing. I could go on, talk to people directly. It was almost like having your own little focus group in the beginning. Do
Right.
you like this logo? Do you like these colors? What about this tagline? Is this silly? And you would just have this direct line to your consumer. And now it's you can put out great content. The algorithm decides they don't want to share it, and if you're
Mhm,
not paying enough, it's difficult. But paid social is worth it because
mhm,
it ties directly into your organic. Organic social is still valuable, but you have to play the game to get that social media seen.
right.
We really don't do any print advertising anymore, except for like highly specific. When you go to the Caribbean and you pick up like we're in Kirk Freeport, Grand Cayman,
Mhm.
and they'll do some we'll co-op with them in some of the travel magazines and things like that. But other than that, we're not doing a lot of print.
Are you, leaning into AI changes around marketing, or are you kinda,
Not yet. I
yeah, watching
mean,
and
we're
seeing?
we're tiptoeing. It's coming for sure.
Right.
Um, Dune is a challenging brand to market because even we have people that have ordered from us before that
Mhm.
still are like, "Oh, can I send my own sand in?" Or, "Oh, wait, do you make this with ABC?" And you're like, "What? Wait, what?"
Right.
You've ordered, and it's not on them, it's on us to figure out how to tell someone, "Hey, we're gonna capture your memories and sand to earth elements that are special to you." And when you
Mhm.
hear that, you're like, "What?" And we're still trying to hone in on 6 seconds of graphics that can tell that story. It's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be when it comes to
Right.
marketing.
Yeah. Well, as you're continuing your Dune, jewelry journey, what are ways that other women can support you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, just follow and like and share and tell your friends if you think it's something, if someone's having a destination wedding and they might want a little tangible reminder of that moment for bridesmaids gifts or things like that. I mean, it's really just word of mouth. We're best received when it's word of mouth and true and real and authentic. Um, yeah, so it's just talking about it and getting involved, likes, shares, they all go a long way.
Well, thank you for being here with us. And I'm seeing here that Tanya has dropped in your website, dunejewelry.com,
Thank you.
and a special promo code for us. So thank you for that. And so, everyone on the call, you should be treating yourself, and gift giving season's around the corner. You can treat someone
Yeah.
else as well. So, does anyone have any questions? I wanted to open it up to see if there's any questions from anyone.
I don't have time yet for the questions because I'm busy copying the website so that I can
Right.
order something.
You're focusing. Thank you.
I think I don't know if I think that Carol, my PR rep, put together a code for you guys too. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Okay, can I? Okay,
I
so
I
it's
put
yeah.
it in there.
Oh, great. All right, so 15% off your order. Yeah.
Thank you
If
so
anyone
much.
wants to ask what happened to my eye, it wasn't supposed to look like this tonight. I have to address it. I had a little tiny, tiny, little tiny procedure, and the doctor said, "You're going to be fine. It'll be fine. Just throw some makeup on it." And here we are. So
It happens. I have an ingrown, you can't see it, but an ingrown eyelash that he just removed. And
yeah.
that was 2 days ago. And then yesterday I had my molar removed. It's like,
Oh,
geez, I'm falling apart here.
listen, you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you're like, what's happening? This is
I
not,
know.
this
And then
isn't,
it's like, can I put on makeup yet to hide it? I'm just telling
yeah.
everybody I ran into a door, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I was gonna come up with a really cool story that Joy inspired. I was gonna say I got bit by an octopus, but that
Yes,
didn't
yes,
seem right either.
awesome.
Why do
We
it
can
say
go for that.
both?
Try them out, test market it.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. So
Yeah.
what made you adventure into adding some new elements to your collection, like your gemstones? You were recently at a gemstone fair, so I was curious what inspired that.
I think a lot of it was artistic exhaustion where I was like, it was even though the sands are all different colors and textures, it's like, what's the next step? And how do we start to build? Because if you hear, oh, sand jewelry, you're like, oh, it doesn't sound luxurious.
Mm.
Uh, and so I've worked really diligently over the past 15 years to continue being a fine jewelry company, demi-fine jewelry company, sterling silver, and then adding those stones really just elevated everything. Like the this is our one of our designs here with sand from Lake Tahoe. And so yeah, the color just brought in a whole new world. Everyone loves turquoise. I had no idea until the launch of it. And then it's now everything comes with a turquoise gradient if you want it for the most part. But so Tanya, a better answer to that is perceived value. That's what I was trying to say. You hear sand jewelry, you're like, oh, what is it, $20, $30? And then you have to consistently build on the perception that the customer has because this is artists and craft. My team has toothpicks and they're literally grain by grain crafting every single design. There's one of our shell scape here and they're all just like nestled just perfectly
Wow.
into that bezel. So it's an artwork, a piece of art as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there any?
I was just,
Joy.
I was just going to say, I think something else that's really cool. So I have a friend who recently proposed on a beach. And so I'm going to actually suggest to him that he buy the wedding gift for his bride with the sand from that particular beach, because I think that's a really cool thing to have to commemorate that moment. We have photos, but it's not quite the same thing. And
Yeah.
ironic, my sister-in-law owns a travel agency and travels all over the world. One of the things they have in their house, they have a collection of sand from each different place that they've been where there's sand all over the world. She bought all these matching little bottles and they're all labeled with the sand from all the different beaches that they've been to.
I bet it looks so cool too.
It is really interesting. And it's funny, she brought back sand the second time from a place. When we were talking earlier, you're talking about in Alaska.
Yeah.
So ironically, they just took a cruise up there for their anniversary. They were married on Victoria Island in outside of they lived in Seattle at the time, but they were up in Vancouver, and so Victoria Island is right off Vancouver. So my brother recreated the photo where they got married. He had hired a photographer to come and photograph them
Oh,
again in the exact same spot, and so he brought sand back, so they now have both sets of sand from the first time and the second time. So
that is so thoughtful. I Yeah, that's so thoughtful. I have had men say I could have gotten her $100,000 diamond tennis necklace and this gift went over better than that.
it's
Just
little things that really matter at the end of the day. Because I mean, for women in particular, I can't speak for all men, but for women in particular, it's that memory and being able to recall that memory. So
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like a tangible reminder of that moment. And you don't have that anymore because everything's in your phone in a cloud somewhere. Even when we were kids, we would print out every photo and hold it, touch it, put it into like a not scrapbook, but a photo album.
Album.
Yeah, it just felt more tangible, or memories felt more tangible to me back then. So this is a way to really hold on to that.
Love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Oh, Nancy.
Hi, Holly. Thank you so much. It's been so interesting to hear your story. But um, I was wondering if perhaps now that you are so well established, if you've also found a way to get back your artistic, creative side rather than just primarily orienting this towards the business, which I totally get. Have you found a way to do that and express it through the business more now?
I'm getting there. It's something I think about quite often. I think, I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but cooking has become kind of an artistic outlet for me, which is not anything to do with business, but it's like, it's two-sided. It's artistic for me and it's calming. It's a family activity. So there's the answer to that other question. I have found, how to incorporate the family with like just balancing myself. No, I mean, there are times where I feel wildly inspired and excited by designs that I create. And then there are times where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this because my sales manager needs a certain type of design at a certain price point for a certain customer. And that tends to be difficult. Like I will procrastinate bad and until the point where it's like, all right, I have to get this done. But that's all subconscious. I don't mean to, it just happens. So, and then the next day I'll get inspired and I've got like, 5 different sketches ready to go on something that nobody needs, but I like it. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question. Anyone else? Oh, Marilyn, thank you. Oh, we can't hear you though.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes. Holly, it was very interesting listening to you talk, and I was looking at your website, and you have this commitment to let's do good together, and you ask people to identify charity or causes that they are committed to, and it looks like you have really donated a significant amount of money and a time has been invested in really working with these organizations. I'm just curious, how do you sort through all these organizations that might come to your attention and decide, okay, this is where we're going to make donations?
That's a great question. We do early on, we would go to I think it's called Charity Navigator website to ensure it's a rating system for different charitable organizations where you can see where your donations go. Super important to me that it's going to the cause and not the CEO. Everyone needs to get paid, but some of these organizations can be it's not ideal. So, so we would go there a lot. And then I fell in love with Sylvia Earle, who is the founder of Mission Blue. She's just an amazing woman. And so we did that. And then my dad passed away from diabetes, type 1 diabetes, when I was very, very young. So Joslin Diabetes Center became something that I wanted to support. So a lot of it came from personal experience in the beginning. And then we started asking our community where they would like to see those funds go. So we'll do online fundraisers when we find a great partner where we're both kind of promoting it and we're telling people about their mission and they're telling people about our business. And anytime that it is collaborative, it's better.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's about you're at $250,000 in donations, right?
Yeah.
50,000.
Yeah. So far.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you.
We have a little bit of time if there's any other questions.
Feel free to ask anything.
Yeah, she
I'm
said she was an open book, which is
open book. If I can be helpful, sometimes I'm more helpful with a pointed question. Otherwise, sometimes I ramble off a little.
Anybody on here want to start a business? Already have a business?
Oh,
It's the greatest adventure of my life. I can tell you that. I love every day. I mean, That's not true.
Yeah. It's like so positive.
But I love being a business owner. I love the mission we have. I love our community. I love the most difficult thing about owning a business when you're scaling is really just the people you surround yourself with, and finding good people and trying to pay a living wage in the United States. There's so many challenges to that, but my team, they should all have double what they're making, but then we wouldn't have the business. So it's always this fine line, balancing act.
Right. And finding the right people who can believe in the vision and the journey, right? So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Holly, I mean, so appreciate your time and for being here. And thank you so much for sharing your story and for offering the discount for us all. And best of luck to you and your team at Dune.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. It was so good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, everyone.
Nice to see everybody.
Thank you.
Holly.
Meeting everyone.
Holly, I just wanted you to know I talked to Global. I think she's still on here. Did she jump off? Nope, she's gone. I'll send her a message. They're going to share the video on their channels too.
Okay.
So the recording will get shared. So just letting you know, Nancy, you may see yourself on LinkedIn at some point.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
I think
Good
she
to
might be
know.
frozen. So, but
Okay.
it'll be on our on-demand library. We had 4 people, I think, come in late. So
Okay.
anyways.
Cool.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank
Can you
you.
hear me?
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thanks for doing this. And Holly was great. I think I don't know if
Thank
she
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think she froze up. She was getting a little bit of weirdness in the end. So, but she was wonderful. I followed her for 9 years. So
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
she said that she knew you and that, she was excited to come on and stuff. And so that was very generous of her
Yeah.
to donate and stuff. And her story, her journey is really super cool. So,
It's very interesting. Yes.
yeah.
All right. Thank you guys
All
so
right.
much.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Talk with everybody. Bye.